Okay, so today we have a Kenwood CD player. It looks like a fairly expensive one, and there's no line fuse in the AC primary, and we're going to put one in for fire prevention. So I'll let you look at the fuse link of your standard household fuse. That's a 15 amp. This is a 20 amp. And this is the fuse that we're putting in. See how thin the little link is? So it will blow this before it blows this, or this, or a standard 15 or 20 amp household circuit breaker. Okay, so we're going to look for a spot to put the fuse in here. I'm going to set this right here and make sure it clears the drawer when it closes. No, I'm not going to be able to put it there. So I have to put it just a hair higher here. And look down here. Right there looks like the spot where I'm going to be able to put it right there. So I'm going to take my pen and I'm going to make my mark right there. Unfortunately, I can't see it. I'm going to try putting it right here. It might be easier to put it right up here above the power transformer. That looks like a nice spot to put it, right directly above the power transformer. That looks like a nice spot to put it. So I'll get it centered there above the transformer. Gotta make sure I find a decent place to put it. Okay, so you can see I made my little mark there with my marker. And I'll drill my hole. It's a very easy metal to drill through. There, we got our hole through. Now I'm going to make sure I get rid of all the burrs. I'll use a drill bit a lot bigger, and I'll just ream these little burrs off. Now do the same thing on this side. I'll take my bigger drill bit and I'll just ream away the burrs there. And next I'll take the vacuum cleaner. Then I'll take it upside down like this, and I'll make sure all the little burrs and filings are all out of it. Okay, so we're going to take this wire off of the power transformer here. So I'll just heat that terminal there, and we'll just pull that wire right out of there. We're going to open this hole up with a solder pump. Got the hole opened there. And we're going to use some 18 gauge wire here. We'll get it stripped with our wire strippers, and we will put this in the hole here. And we'll just see how, yeah, I could tin that too before I put it in. So we're going to use some rosin core flux. I'll just dip the wire into the flux there. I just tinned it with my iron there. Now I'll put this wire up through the hole here, make sure all of my strands are, no strands are sticking out. Go in, pull it up. I put a little flux on my I'll make a good solder connection here. Let that cool a minute. Now this wire is going to come down through here. It's going to come around over to the other side of the fuse block behind the transformer. And it's going to go on the block up here. But I'm not going to push it down quite yet and get it seated because I have to hook this other end up. So I'll take this and cut this piece off here. Okay, I'm going to take our fuse block here. I'm going to use my sandpaper. I'm going to just sand this down some so it makes a good solder connection here. As you can see, I got them roughed up a little bit. Okay, now we're ready to take and solder in our fuse block. I want to make sure I don't drop a strand of wire down inside there. So I'll make sure I get all my strands through the hole. I'll look at the bottom, make sure all the strands are through. I'll take my pliers and shape the wire like that. Put my flux on. I'll just stick the solder in the little bottle, the tube, or the little container of flux here. There, I heat the terminal and the wire. I'm going to have to add some more. There's a real nice solder joint. See how nice and clean that is? I'm just going to let that cool a minute. Flowed through on the other side. So now I'm ready to do this side. Put the wire in through the hole like I did. A strand came out there. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm going to twist it back in there. I'm going to put it in through the hole. And I'll look on the other side here, make sure no strands are poking out on the other side. Everything looks good. Same thing, I'm going to shape my wire there with the pliers. I'm going to squeeze it up here, squeeze it down here. Put my wire into the flux, put some flux on there. Flow through on this side. I'm going to reheat this here because it looks like the wire moved back a little bit, so I'm going to just heat it up again. Yeah, it looks like a nice solder joint. go through. Here, I'll just take that little bit of black gunk off of there just so it's nice and clean. It's a real nice, good solder joint. Okay, so now we can push this wire down in here. We'll get down behind the transformer. And I have to loosen the transformer up a little bit to get it to go behind it. So I'll just loosen this up. Maybe just loosening it up might let it get under there. Gentle moving these wires around. There it is. Just push it down, get it back out of the way of everything. We'll use a piece of spacer here to isolate this from the metal chassis. Okay, as you can see, I put a few layers of electrical tape on that just to give it a little extra protection. So we're going to have to make a very little tiny notch here for the screw that holds the top on the unit. So it goes go here, there. Let's make that even there. I can just bend it down like that. We'll put a washer and our nut on from the back. I drilled so I don't cover any of the writing on the back, so it looks original like factory work. I centered it above the power transformer so it looks really good. I use a nut driver to draw it down. I'm just going to look, make sure it's all nice and straight. I'll just push this down just slightly so it looks perfect. This gets just a little crooked, so I'll just back that off a hair, move that over. Get the plastic lined up so it's nice and flat. Okay, there's the plastic nice and straight. Fuse block is nice and straight now. I'll put the screwdriver in there and I'll just tighten it from the back. We'll put our 1/2 amp fuse in. I'll make sure there's clearance down here and clearance down here. It's not touching anything. No wires are pinched anywhere, so there it is. So you can see my solder joint, one right here, and then that one there, and the other one over there. Thanks for watching.